is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Welcome into the Country Financial Studio on a Monday. We missed you. It's been a long week off. Ryan Milano here with you on a Monday. Full week without Duck Insider, and what a sweet week it was. First and foremost, I hope that all of you enjoyed the holiday week, got to spend time with family, got to gain a few extra pounds, mostly of turkey, maybe of ham, depending on where you fall on that spectrum. What I know is that I was really thankful to be a part of this Oregon athletics family over the week. I was thankful on Tuesday when Oregon men's basketball beat Texas A&M. I was thankful on Wednesday when Oregon men's basketball beat San Diego State. I was thankful on Thursday getting to celebrate a great Thanksgiving. I was thankful on Friday when Oregon volleyball took down UCLA. I was thankful on Saturday, especially when Oregon beat the Huskies in football and when the Ducks won the Players Era Festival in basketball. Wow, there's so much to be thankful for. It's such a great week to be a Duck. You've got ranked teams galore. You got an undefeated team through the entire regular season in football. The Ducks are 12-0. Yes, 12-0 in football and ranked number 12 in basketball inside the AP poll after Oregon on the men's side of things went to Vegas, took care of business, and won 3 games against tough teams and get into the top 12. There have been many weeks where I've been sitting in this chair, and it's been really, really fun to be a fan of the Oregon Ducks, someone who works in this athletic department. I don't know if there has been a more fun week than the week that we just had. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I think the pinnacle of it is Ducks taking down the Dogs. It never gets better than when you beat the Huskies. I saw a lot of you out there at Autzen Stadium on Saturday. I was there. Jerry was there. Jorgie was there. Joey was there. Dusty Hara was there. Scott and Caden were there. Well, and the team was there. And you can't go undefeated in the regular season unless you beat the Huskies, and that's exactly what Oregon did on Saturday. The game recap of how the Ducks got it done against the Dogs. Here's how it sounded on Saturday night.
You're at the top of the college football world, but there's somebody here that wants to take that away from you. Claps of hands, gives the ball. Whittington going right. Goes inside, one, touchdown Oregon. Whittington kind of got lost, a bunch of Huskies and Ducks on the right-hand side, but he got through. Williams snap back to throw this time. Sets up, pressure comes, gets hit, and goes down. Betcher. Not this time, he says, Mr. Williams. Gabriel, a lot of time, now throws. Got it, Holden, 20 inside, 10, 8, out of bounds at the 5. 3 receivers out to the left. Snap, hand it off. James, touchdown Oregon. Right up the middle. A no-doubter. Strung out to his left. Tight end right. Gonna hand it off. Bang! That ball came out and Oregon has a fumble. Huskies. Ducks have it at the 19-yard line. Gabriel says, settle down. Here we go. Give me the snap. Snap. Give it to James up the middle. Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. Jordan James. That quick. Oh, my. Holden comes in from the left, sets up, turn. It's going to be a pass. Gabriel could run. He runs. He scores! Touchdown, Oregon. James to his right, trips out to the left. Snap back to throw. Straight drop, looking left. Throws it. End zone. Caught. Touchdown, Oregon. Tez Johnson. And he was looking for him all the way. Looking for him all the way. Williams from the shotgun and the snap and to throw. Steps back, steps up, and goes down. He stepped back and tried to step up, and there was nowhere to step up. From the shotgun, he's got the snap and back to throw. A little more time. Now it breaks down. Now he gets hit, goes down again. Oregon's defense is just too much. Gabriel with a snap from under center, rolling to his left. Wants to keep, now wants to throw. Got him open in the end zone. Touchdown, Terrence. Ferguson was behind everybody. I thought Gabriel was going to run it. He really sold that because the Huskies just did not stay back. Two receivers out to left. Give it to Riggs again up the middle. He gets it in. Dwan Riggs. Touchdown, Ducks. Offensive line opened a hole for him. He just pushed his way right in. Final score, Oregon 49. Washington 21. Big Ten regular season over. Oregon undefeated, 12-0 in their first outing with the Big Ten Conference play, and a long way from being over, Jorgie.
12-0 in the regular season for just the second time in program history. The Ducks did it in 2010. That culminated in a national championship appearance. The Ducks have done it in 2024. Few more games to get to that national championship game, but the focus is first on what the Ducks have to do in the Big Ten championship. But you'll hear coming up in the show, talking with some of these players, that those goals will get reached later in the season. The goals are not accomplished yet. 12-0 is great. That's not the goal for this team. There's so much more to get to, and the next game is the most important against Penn State in the Big Ten Championship on December 7th. That'll be 5 p.m. on CBS. That's 5 p.m. Pacific time on CBS. 3 o'clock pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network for that game in the Big Ten title, where Oregon looks to conquer the Big Ten in their first year in the conference. Also in the game against Washington on Saturday, defense was awesome. 10 sacks, ties a school record. Against Stanford in 2004, the Ducks had 10. Ducks had 10 again against Washington in the game on Saturday. Before we get to Coach Lanning and some players, there's also some big news for some women's sports as well. Oregon Volleyball, they will be hosting in the postseason. They are going to be at Matthew Knight Arena. Thursday is when round one will happen. If the Ducks win, they will play on Friday at MKA. Also, news across the office from Oregon Soccer. Brand new Oregon Soccer head coach Tracy Joyner joining the program. We'll get into more of Oregon Volleyball later in the week. We'll talk with Coach Ulmer tomorrow. We also had a press conference earlier today that's available on the Go Ducks YouTube channel right now. We'll talk with Coach Joyner as well later in the week. But first, we got to talk to the head coach of the football team, Coach Dan Lanning. It's brought to you by Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Benner Cancer Care, close to home as the Ducks take down the Dogs 49-21. Coach Lanning's first win over Washington, his post-game reactions. Let's hear him.
All right, that was a fun one. I'm really excited, more than anything, for those 31 seniors that we got to recognize before the game started. They worked so hard. And some of them have been here since the day we got here. So for them to be able to enjoy a moment like that after hard work really excites me and certainly excites our team. Proud of our fans tonight. I thought they showed up and certainly made an impact. You know, you come to Oregon to play in games and moments like that, and what we've created so far this season is really special, but obviously there's still some things ahead of us. Certainly excited to see all of our fans show up in Indy and make an impact there as well. You know, also, record-setting night for a couple guys. Terrence Ferguson tying the touchdown record, tying or beating. I don't know. He set records tonight. He also, has a ton of receptions, and I think he leads all tight ends in receptions here at Oregon. And then the opportunity for our defense to have 10 sacks tonight and tie a school record there is pretty awesome.
Dan, 10 sacks tonight, tying a program record. What can you say about just the havoc this defense has been able to cause all season?
Yeah, really coming into the game, we didn't think we'd have that many opportunities to be able to actually rush the passer. We were anticipating some screen game and runs to maybe limit the opportunities to be able to do it. And we talked about taking advantage of the moments we did get. And I think once the the score, became kind of one-sided. I think that created more opportunities for us. So I'm, proud of those guys taking advantage of those opportunities.
Saw Tez finally get back on the field tonight. How meaningful do you think it was for him to get back for senior night and to enjoy this time with his team?
Yeah, I mean, Tez, the minute he was down, he was ready to be back out there. He would have been out there sooner if we would have let him. So, I was glad that he was able to get back out there and help his team. We've got unbelievable trainers here that have helped him get back, but I'm glad that he was able to make an impact, as well as some other guys like Jordan and those guys that got out there.
We talked about the impact of the line on pass plays, but I think Jonah Coleman held with 3 yards tonight. Just speak to the effort, just in the totality on, I guess, offense.
Yeah, there was a couple moments in this game where we talked about being in position to, outrush our opponent and walking at halftime. I think we certainly did that. And once you make it a passing game, I think that changes things too. And, Jonah's a really good player. He's had some great runs all season, but we were able to keep him bottled up.
No, the season's not over yet, but can you just appreciate the 12-0 and how difficult that truly is to do?
Season's not over yet.
Just the fact that your team has been able to come in and week out and take care of business. What do you think that says about this squad and what they could be able to do in the postseason?
Yeah, we've said it several times, but being able to play our best ball at the end of the season when it matters most, I think you saw that. You saw glimpses of that from our team tonight, dominating field position, making some critical plays on special teams, offense and defense. I think everybody can recognize college football is hard. Right, it's tough to be consistent and to be resilient and consistent and win some tight games and have some battles throughout there. I think that really shows some of the character of our team.
Dan, how have the losses to Washington over the last couple of years sat with and maybe motivated this program, not just this week, but kind of as you've kind of built the program over the last few years? And what do you think it meant to this group to get a win?
I think it meant a lot. I mean, I go to bed every night thinking about them, and I wake up every morning thinking about them. So it's nice to be able to think about a win too.
Is that true?
100%.
Coach, you've gotten to know some of these players over the last couple of years who've been here, some of them obviously just this season. To go 12-0 this year, just what exactly makes this group of Ducks so special in your eyes to be able to achieve this feat?
We've talked about connection a lot since I've been here, but I think this is by far our most connected team that we have. It's obviously a talented team, but I think it's unique to be able to get talent to play together. The way that our guys play unselfishly to celebrate other teammates' success. I think that you see that consistently with these guys, regardless of the situation. That really sticks out to me with this group.
If you thought about the Washington losses the past couple of years on a daily basis, Dan, what will be when that monkey is off your back? What are your thoughts after this one when you scored the most points on them in a couple of years and have such a lopsided performance?
How can we get better?
Towards the end of lopsided games this year, it felt like we've seen more of Austin Novosad. What went into the decision tonight to let Dante get some snaps, and what did you see from him?
Yeah, Dante had 4 games that we were able to utilize there and still reserve his red shirt, and now that gave him the opportunity to do that. And Austin's done a great job competing for us all year, so giving those guys both opportunities, but still being in position to reserve Dante's red shirt was a benefit.
We've seen how quickly things can change in this era of college football. Just a team can be excellent one year and then having a readjustment period the next. You guys have been a good to very good football team for all 3 years you've been here. What have been the challenges of sustaining that and kind of keeping that continuity and building on that each year?
How long you got?
As much time as you do.
No, I mean, there's a ton of challenges right now in the world of college football. I think it starts in that locker room, and you have guys that are bought in, believe in what we're doing. You continue to focus on talent acquisition and development. You focus on getting better every single day. I think that's the kind of group that we have in there right now.
Coach, you talked about Tez. What did you guys miss most when he was gone? And then just, similarly, what will he bring here for the playoff push?
I think he's an explosive player, and anytime he's out there in the field, he can create explosive plays. But, he maintained his energy and enthusiasm even when he wasn't out there on the field for us. He pushed the team, to be excellent. And, on the same note, he was out there, cheering on his teammates. But it's great to see him out on the field for the Ducks.
Coach, it being senior night tonight and Dylan and Bryce being key seniors on this team, what has it been like coaching them this year and just all throughout their years and seeing them play in conference this season?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of both those guys. 2 different circumstances to find their way on the field for the Ducks, and for them to maximize every opportunity that they've had, I'm really proud of them.
Coach, another 2 sacks from Mateo tonight, now over 10 on the year. How have you seen him grow this year and improve as a player?
He's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, I think the guy plays with relentless effort, and that's one of the pieces. I mean, we talked about developing that killer instinct, and, Mateo's showing that killer instinct right now, and it's become one of the hardest guys in college football to block.
It worked. Dan, you said earlier that, season's not over yet when it came to appreciating a moment like this. But as you've alluded to many times, winning is very hard. You see it every weekend, where the unexpected happens. Do you, on some level, encourage your team to try to appreciate the steps of this journey that you guys have been on? And how do you kind of balance those two things? Because, you're obviously very focused on what's next in the future, but also you're in rare air here.
I always feel like you can stop and celebrate whenever the season's done. Anybody in our world, you don't get the opportunity to be satisfied, right? And that's just the reality of the world we live in. And everyone right now is going to be patting us on the back. Who cares, right? Like, it didn't matter before, it doesn't matter now. I remember early in the season when everybody was telling us how crappy we were after our first 2 games. Like, we don't care what anybody else thinks. So, do we appreciate hard work? Absolutely. But that's what it takes, right? And it doesn't guarantee anything for tomorrow. So you have to focus on what's next.
For Bryce specifically, he always kind of steps up in games like this. Maybe it means a little bit more to him, but 11 tackles, forced fumble, I think 2 TFLs. What has he meant to this program?
Yeah, just what he brings every single day, the definition of consistency. He plays the game the right way. Yet, the physicality that's necessary at his position. The enthusiasm that he carries onto the field. I think everything that shows up on a Saturday for Bryce is what shows up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Bryce in the facility for us. So extremely proud of Bryce. One of my favorite guys I've ever got to coach just because of how he attacks each day.
It was a 7-6 game, and then suddenly 3 minutes later, I think it was 28-6, and the offense up and down the field. Just speak to that sequence and kind of what was working there.
Yeah, I think we figured out when we were able to start, in rhythm early, and able to start on schedule to start the game, each series. We get positive yards in the first play of each series, every P and 10. It kind of led to successful drives. So trying to identify moments like that for us, make sure we're eliminating penalties. Probably still have more penalties than we want in this game. But for us to be able to stay on schedule to start, I think, it's really hard to defend us when it's 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 3, right? And you want to play for the shot, but we can also run it. I think that really opens up the entire playbook.
How much have you had a chance to look at Penn State through some of your scouting of some of these opponents, like Washington, frankly, who played them earlier in the season, and what are your first impressions of them?
Yeah, we've been able to watch them a little bit through crossover, but we haven't really got the opportunity to pay attention to them as much. I know they're really tough to defend. They create a lot of different formations. I think they do a great job of utilizing their personnel. Obviously they have an elite tight end, great quarterback. They played really good defense this year. They're not afraid to pressure. So certainly have some identity traits that we've seen, but looking forward to take a deeper dive into them.
We've talked all year about wanting to peak at the right time. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time right now? And what goes into peaking at the right time? Not too early, not too late. How do you kind of walk that line?
Well, I've never been upset if we peaked early. I don't know about peak, but if we've gotten really good early, but I do feel like this is our most complete game, right? In all 3 phases. And not necessarily the score indicates that because of a late score there in the game for them, but I think there was a lot of opportunities for young guys on the field to develop today, and ultimately, this is a lot more like March Madness now than it was, 2 years ago. So it's about playing consistent football at the end of the season, time after time after time. So you want to be playing your best ball at this moment, and we're relatively healthy. We've got a team that's gotten better each week, so I think that sets up for success.
Coach, just at the very end, Tez obviously doing the backflip. Do you get nervous at all as a coach, seeing players take unnecessary risks, potentially him coming off injury or anything like that? Or you just kind of
I didn't see the backflip, but I'll make sure I address it with him. I would have done one with him if I knew he was doing it.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
I thought about doing one too, but then I would have been hosting this show in a full body cast, and that would have been a bad idea. Coach Lanning saying most complete game of the season, last game of the regular season. It's all about the postseason now. Championships are up for grabs. The quarterback knows it. We're talking to Dylan Gabriel when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ducks down the Huskies 49-21 on Senior Day, and one of the seniors was the quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. First year in the program. He has really made a name for himself in this Oregon program, and beating Washington is a good way to do that too. 16 for 23 through the air, 209 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, also got one on the ground, 3 rushes for 20 yards and a rushing touchdown as well. Led the offense and really got the Ducks in a rhythm, especially in the second quarter of this football game. Dylan Gabriel, he was really good. Let's hear from the quarterback and his reactions after beating Washington post-game Saturday. Here's the QB.
It's been a few weeks since you had Tez back there out with you. What was it like to kind of have him back in the fold tonight?
Good. I think more than playing, I think it just helps with overall morale, his lively energy. But then, of course, when you get the ball in his hands, so there's a lot that comes with that. But we love Tez. We need him. He's a big part of what we do.
For someone spending their lone year in the program, how much did you feel the intensity of the rivalry and sort of this being a get-back game for the program when they hadn't won against Washington these last couple of years?
Yeah, was talked about, but, just being right where our feet are and knowing that, history don't help us one bit. You got to go prove it, and, I felt like we did, but definitely aware of it, know of it, watched, both those games actually. So,
Coach just called this the team's most complete game of the season. I guess, do you agree with that? And what was working for the offense there through 3 quarters there?
For sure. Always things you can clean up, but proud of our guys and the way we, set the tone, set the pace. I know James was happy about that third quarter, and things that we've talked about. But also just running the football, man. You look at everyone contributing in that way, and then taking what they give us in the pass game and being aggressive when need to, and being smart when that presents itself. So I think more importantly, it's clean, playing clean and efficient, and then executing at a high level.
Coach called you guys the most connected team he thinks he's ever coached.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? And what are some ways that connection comes through in the locker room, on the practice field, and on the game day field?
Yeah, a lot of ways. I think the competitive nature of our whole team, you see it in practice. I encourage everyone to come. James comes to practice all the time. But I encourage you to come to practice and just see the way we practice. But we take pride in it. That's older guys as well that, like myself, played 6 years. But the way we attack it and contribute, in our own way. I think that speaks to how we are connected as a team. A lot of guys who've played a bunch of football, know what it takes to win and have been on the good and bad sides of, a game in general. So I think that, and then you come to, our Thursday player-led meetings. I think you just see a lot of mature individuals in the way they speak, what they demand of the team, and how they set the tone. I go back to when Noah Whittington, spoke in front of us, this week on a Wednesday. You just see the passion, the love, a guy who's grinded, and there's so many other, guys on our team that do that. But I think that moment, I think, speaks to a lot of where we are as a team.
Dylan, can you appreciate just the difficulty of 12-0, and then can you maybe explain how this team was able to navigate the waters where this weekend again we saw how difficult it is to win in November?
Yeah, winning's difficult. It's not easy, and to do it consistently and wake up every morning and not let it become a lackadaisical routine. It's demanding, but you just see a group of guys that, like I said, to speak to the connection. When one person may be down, the way we bring others up, and have to match that energy, on our good days, how do we make it great? And that's the people around you, how they motivate you, how they push you, how they inspire you to wake up every morning and have your A game, And then you have a head man who brings his A game every freaking morning. Like, there's levels to it, and we all appreciate it. But I think the best part is we haven't really talked about it. We're just 1 week focused and so present. It's hard to do. It's very easy for us to look forward to the future, but we've just been living in a time where tomorrow's fiction. Tomorrow's not real in our books. We're just focused right where we're at.
Defense has 10 sacks tonight, tying a program record. Just what was it like for you watching them do what they did out there tonight, and how helpful was that for you?
Yeah, a lot of fun. Bunch of big smiles on my face, as we're on the sideline. But utmost confidence in those guys and the way they play. I can even go back to a fall camp scrimmage, and I remember we were putting the squad together, and you just see like the way we compete, and we go against those guys every single day. So we know what they're capable of. But I think that's, our competitive advantage, the way we practice and the way we push each other. So super proud of the defense, always proud of them, the way they, attack, and, they came to play today.
Speaking on that, I know he plays on the other side of the ball, but Bryce Betcher had a huge game, forced fumble, really kind of flipped the game in that second quarter. What has he meant to this program? I know you've only been here a year, but what has he kind of meant to this team at linebacker?
Yeah, meant more than just to the program, but the city of Eugene, homegrown guy who loves life, and loves playing ball, both baseball and football. But he's probably the hardest working dude I've been around too. When I wake up in the morning, I'm stretching and, in the locker room, and like, he's the guy I'm looking at, and like who, and Bossa as well. But like, who wouldn't you, want, like, who wouldn't want a guy like him in your locker room? I can't say anything but good stuff about him, because he's just a dog, and he works. But he's even smarter than that, and you put all that together, it's a good recipe for a great player and a great person.
This being your senior night, and what makes Eugene and this Oregon Ducks team different from the teams that you've been on in the past? Special year, but special people more importantly. I think as I've gotten older, I'm chasing people and I'm chasing memories. I'm not promised tomorrow. I don't know when my time is up, but that's what I'm chasing. And I think the more memories and the more great people you can be around, the more fulfilling your life is. So I would just say getting here, the great people that invest in you, that are extremely positive, and want to see the best out of you. I think it's a powerful feeling, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to contribute to it. But I think you just see everyone involved, that makes this thing go, whether it's equipment staff, the training staff, our people down in our cafeteria, the people who take care of this building,
that's all the people and all the support, even Duck Nation. You know, it's people that you know, really make this thing go. So we're appreciative of them and just want to represent them in the right way.
When you decided to come here 50 weeks ago, and the mission is to do exactly what you're doing, what is it like to be reaching this potential? And if you're chasing memories, what are those memories that stick out to you so far?
Yeah, well, the memories are, you know, I don't know the exact dates, but, you know, further down the road. And yeah, I think coming here, I think you know, and you believe and have this, you know, thought of what could be. But, you know, a lot of people think about what could be, you know, and got to go make it happen. And I think that's probably been the most fulfilling part, is just the way we respond and the guys and how they work. And then, you know, of course, they're not to sugarcoat it, the joys in the winning. You know, winning's fun. You know, it's addicting. You know, it's my drug of choice, I say. You know, it's an addicting feeling, and yeah, I think just being around this program, like I said, you know, you believe it, but then when you actually do it, it's something special. So I think the rest will unfold as we just keep playing our butt off.
Mentioned in the player-led meeting, Noah speaking to you guys. What did he say that, you know, really struck you and that impact on you, like you were saying?
Just a guy who's been through a lot, you know, and I think more than what he said, I think just his presence, you know, and the way he was able to get everyone's attention, you know, and his ability to just not let that day be wasted, you know, and he set the tone that way. And I feel like it just set our day up for success, you know, and so little, right? Like, oh, just one speech for one day, but that's all you got, you know, today, you know, and he made his impact on that day. And that was the most important day. So, you know, a guy like him who's been through a lot, like I said, and has pushed through, and a guy who wasn't on the field during those times that, you know, those games were played, you know, I think he just had a great way of, you know, presenting how he wanted to be out there for the boys, you know, and he's a guy who's all about team. So I appreciate him, mature individual, but just a great guy. So
Dan has talked all year about peaking at the right time. I'll start by saying, do you think you are peaking at the right time? And if so, what goes into peaking at this time, not too early, not too late, and kind of finding that sweet spot?
I guess we'll never know until, you know, that, you know, down the road comes. But I will say, I think the mindset's right, you know, and the preparation and how we do things is right as well. But, you know, I think it's proving it every single week. That'll let me know and let us know if we're peaking at the right time. But, you know, that's what I love about this team. Just the way we practice, the way we are addicted to the process and you know, the way we practice. It's not to not give you an answer, but that's where it comes from. You know, it's not no secret. You know, so like I said, I love these boys. Proud of them. Senior night has been more than special, and you know, I love Eugene, I love Oregon, so I'm appreciative of it all.
That's the quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. I love the way he ended that press conference. A whole lot to be happy about after Saturday, including more records. Tight end got some records. Defense got some records. We'll start with the defense when we come back on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up, it's shifting. I looked through his eyes, I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back here in the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I want to flash back to the year 2004. The Ducks were playing the Cardinal, and Oregon was living in the backfield of Stanford and got 10 sacks. Now I want to take you back to Saturday when the Ducks did it again. We're talking to 5.5 of those sacks. Jordan Birch, Bryce Betcher, Mateo Uiagalelei. 5.5 sacks between them. Yeah, they were pretty happy after senior night. Let's talk to the trio of defensive menaces.
Jordan, how did it feel for you to be back out there, and what can you say about this team getting 10 sacks, tying the program record?
Yeah, it felt amazing to be back out with my teammates, being hurt and then just watching them play kind of hurts, deep down. But, I got, full confidence in what they can do. And then, the way we practice, I knew they would get home. Any chance they got to rush and go get the quarterback. So it all just came together tonight and, looked pretty good.
Bryce, growing up here, you know this rivalry. You've probably envisioned this night a lot in your life. What's it like to have, one of your statistically best games of your career just on this stage?
Yeah, it's kind of a picture-perfect ending. Any time you can beat a rival at home like this and hand it to them like we did is a great feeling. Just blessed to be in this situation, between my teammates, coaches, and family. It's been one heck of a ride, but we're not done yet.
Mateo, can you just talk a little bit about your growth from year 1 to year 2 and just what it's been like for you this season, taking obviously a bigger role and obviously being able to execute to at a higher level?
Yeah, just playing last year, kind of first year, getting thrown in the fire. Just looking back, I think there's a lot of things that I knew I could work on, and then just honing in on those things. And then you got guys like Birch and DJ online, and even guys in my class like Tatum, and it's just a competition every day. We always pushing each other. I just feel like just the love that we have for each other just kind of makes everybody grow like 1% every day.
Bryce, with you being from Eugene and this being your last, conference game at home, and not only a rivalry game but senior night, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. Like I said, anytime you can beat a rival like that, on senior night means a lot to myself, teammates, and obviously the community of Eugene. Just hearing the fans go crazy at the end of that game was unbelievable. Shout going into the fourth quarter was something I'll remember for a long time. I'm just blessed to be put in this spot, and it's been one heck of a ride.
Dan called you one of the hardest guys to block in college football. First, do you agree with that assessment? And if so, what's it taken for you to get there, and what makes you one of the hardest guys to block?
I don't know. There's some pretty good guys out there, but I feel like I got confidence in myself. But again, like I said before, just in practice, I feel like I go against the best O-line every day. And I feel like I got the best edge rushers and the best D-line and the best linebackers to just make everybody push each other. So I feel like just the competition in practice really is the main thing that I think why you can see everybody eat on a D and O line.
Yeah, Jordan, what was the injury? You were listed as questionable, so I'm curious, was there ever a chance you weren't going to play on senior night, or you were going to be out there, weren't you?
Yeah, I had rolled my ankle last game. We were here, and then I couldn't make it to Wisconsin. But I was like senior night. I'm get my ankle back right. I kind of like barely practiced, and they were like, "We got a snap count, for you. So make the most of it." So that's why I kept coming in and off. And then the second half, just playing for my brothers and playing with my brothers. So I was just going out there, give it the best I could.
Bryce, can you talk to the preparation this week in practice? Dan called it your guys' most complete game this season on both sides of the ball. How do you feel like that led to today happening?
Yeah, I think having that bye week definitely helped us out with prep, getting our bodies right, and then just attacking it on both sides of the ball. I've been preaching it, just getting better every single day and growing from our games. And yeah, I agree, this is our most complete game as a team. As you said, it starts in practice, just bringing the juice, energy, enthusiasm to get better and not just go through the motions at practice. And definitely showed tonight. Going to be more proud of this team, and it's incredible.
Jordan, Dan has talked all year about peaking at the right time. Do you feel like this team is peaking and finding that your best football at this point?
Yeah, everybody's coming together. Beginning of the year, you're gonna have like some shaky moments, but you can kind of see it now in practice how everybody's one accord, fitting together, and then you got like the coach talked about this. You got like people that usually don't speaking up in meetings and stuff like that. So that's just like a big sign of the team's coming together and they know we're headed in the right spot.
Bryce, how would you describe the relentlessness of this defense? Just at every level, it feels like this game was a good example of that.
Yeah, it's just the main thing we preach. Number one pillar of our defense, relentless effort, and it starts in practice. And it starts in the meeting room. Just recognizing it on tape and making the decision to, even if you're 15, 20 yards away from the ball, just hustling your butt off to get over to the ball. And I think everyone's bought into it. And, at the end of the day, if you got 11 dudes on defense that play harder than 11 dudes on offense, no matter what the scheme and what you're running, you're gonna do good things. And that's what we bought into.
For each of you, Dan had said that the losses to Washington the past 2 years is something that he thought about every day that he woke up and every day before he goes to sleep. The team is very different. They're in a very different spot. It's not the same coaching staff. Most all the players are gone, but how much of this was redemptive to any of you, and how much were you thinking about at least last season's losses? How much did that stick with each of you for the last year?
Yeah, I'd say it, personally, and I think for at least all these dudes right here, fuels the fire. That's like what going into this week, you try to play for the guy next to you, but at the end of the day, these guys ruined our chances at a national championship last year, put hurting on us the year before, and it's, in the weight room, we got videos of every single game we've played against them, and when you're pumping weights, you see that, and it just reminds you, and that's the beautiful thing about football, is like you can use that to fuel you, and definitely did this week, and I'll forever remember this one.
Were any of you paying attention to any of the scores this morning? Was there a certain reaction to the game in Columbus? Was there kind of a hope to play Ohio State again, have that experience of playing a team you'd already beaten?
I don't know. I didn't even know. I don't even think I still know who really won those games. But maybe they do. I don't know.
Bryce, after the game, you're one of the last, if not the last guy to walk off the field. I'm curious, what are just kind of the things that go through your mind while you're standing out there while everyone else has kind of made their way off?
Yeah, one, soaking it all in, and two, just giving back to the community. These fans are awesome. Grew up in the area, so just sign as many autographs and being with as many fans as possible. And then obviously my family. So like I said, just soaking it all in, and yeah.
Jordan, can you just describe how difficult it is to get 10 sacks in a game? You guys made it look easy, but I would imagine that it's a lot more difficult to achieve, especially when going against a team like Washington, a rival and a team that obviously wants to come away with the win as well.
Yeah, because going into it, you really got a game plan, and some teams kind of like switch up, what they've been doing all year because they're playing us. But if you can do it on Monday, take in the coach and do it on Monday, you can do it on Saturday. So I feel like everybody was buying in throughout the week, and they made that happen tonight.
Bryce, as a guy that's grew up here, knowing the history of this program, has this team done enough to be considered one of the better teams in program history, like the 2010 team that went 12-0, or the 2012 team, or the 14 team?
Yeah, certainly what we've done has been amazing, and it'll go down and as one of the better teams in Oregon history, but, you know, we want to be the best, and the best is yet to come. So, you know, November and December and obviously January is where we make our money. So we're just looking forward to that. And obviously next week, and, you know, ask me that question in a couple of weeks and I'll have a different answer for you.
Bryce, as far as peak life moments go, is there anything cooler that you'll do than landing a backflip and shout against Washington in your last game on senior night?
Yeah, that one's definitely up there. I'd say, you know, maybe next week or later down the road, or having kids or something like that might be pretty cool. But
next
week.
That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was one of my favorite moments, I think maybe ever, being inside Autzen Stadium, was getting to look down and seeing Bryce Betcher do a backflip. And for me, it was extra special because if you followed Oregon baseball last year, Ducks in the outfield did that after every win. Win a game, give a bow, do a backflip. It's about the, I don't know, Oregon won a lot of games of baseball last year. It's about the 40th time I've seen Bryce Betcher do a backflip. That one felt a little extra special. We're going to transition back over to the offensive side of things. Tez Johnson, his first game back. Terrence Ferguson setting some tight end records here at the University of Oregon when we return on Duck Insider, the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Back here in the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Yeah, shout was really, really, really fun on Saturday. Maybe my favorite shout experience that I've been a part of since I've been here at the University of Oregon. Terrence Ferguson, Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson's first game back after he missed a few after suffering an injury in the Michigan game. Terrence Ferguson, he had a big game against Washington. He broke the UO receiving record, past Ed Dixon. Also tied the UO touchdown record, Justin Wilcox's record. It was a big day for the tight end. Tez Johnson also caught a touchdown. We're talking with both of them post-game Saturday. Here's their responses.
Tez, you were the last one off the field in Las Vegas last year. You took that in quite a bit. The stakes are different. Their team is very different. But especially when you're coming off an injury, what does this one feel like for you?
It was personal for me, even though it ain't the last year team. But I mean, Washington is Washington. I hate them. So that Las Vegas loss was really tough for the whole entire team, not just me. I mean, obviously we wanted to win that game. We lost to them twice, so that's pretty much enough said.
As you chose to rewatch that game before this one, what was the reason behind that, and what was that experience, I guess, like for you?
Like I said, they beat us twice. And combined, 6 points?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how close? Like, you really close in those games like that, and you wasn't able to finish it. It just sits different. The whole entire year, it sits different. I mean, what more can I say is I hate Washington. I hate them.
As I was going to ask what the injury was, and it's obviously you tweeted previously you're going to be back, so I think you've been back for a bit, but just the process to getting here and being a part of your senior night.
I mean, it wasn't nothing. I think it was a little veterans break. It wasn't that much of an injury. So I'm back now, though.
That's just being able to go out like this. I mean, I guess you guys don't know if you're going to have another game back here or not, but I would assume you'd hope that you don't have another game back here. Being able to go out like this, what does it mean to you?
It means a lot. I'm pretty sure like all the seniors felt the same way about this game. It's the last game in Austin, and it was against Washington. Like I said, we hate them, and we try to put up basketball numbers. So they did it before. Why not us? So.
Are you sure that you hate them? Or?
I can't. I literally cannot stand them. I was watching film and just seeing a W on I cringed every time. So.
Tez, if you could take us back to when you did suffer that injury, what was your level of concern about, maybe missing the season, and then just the relief of knowing that it wasn't that big of a deal?
I mean, at the time it was scary, obviously. I had it before when I was at Troy. I knew exactly what it was. It's just more scary this time. I think that my biggest concern was I never was going to play again type of thing. But obviously that's not the case. Give a glory to God right there, and the whole entire process. Thankful for the medical staff, Nah, Chief, Mama Steph, Bree, Travis, Laney, everybody in that the medical room, the training room, because they just big shout out for them because they stayed patient with me. Knowing me, I wanted to get back after the first week. When I knew I was coming back, and I knew it was against UW, I kind of was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a one right here. So,
Terrence, you put your name in the record books as the first tight end or leader for receptions and touchdowns. What do those records mean to you?
I'm just super blessed. First off, like all glory to God, to be able to just be on those record lists next to the names I'm next to, and for this university, obviously, I've just been blessed though. Jesus gave me just the opportunity, the ability to be here. And just it's super exciting, but more than that, it's just with this team, with the people that have thrown me the football, it's just super humble and exciting experience for sure.
Tez Johnson, Terrence Ferguson, didn't get to all their interview. It's live on the Go Ducks YouTube channel if you want to listen to the rest of it. Tez Johnson, I think he made his opinions pretty clear about the opponent on Saturday. Yeah, that's pretty much enough said. We've got a whole lot going for the rest of the week. It's a packed week, and there's still so much more to talk about on this show. We're getting to it all when we return after this on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're
going from point A to B. I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Just reliving Saturday a little bit here in the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Now let's take you into what's going on for the rest of the week in this week's Toyota Women's Sports Schedule Spotlight, because there is a lot to get to throughout the week. First, Oregon Volleyball is hosting the postseason. The Ducks will host their first-round matchup against High Point on Thursday at 6:30. Also in the bracket on Oregon's side will be at Matthew Knight Arena, TCU and Hawaii. They will play on Thursday right before Oregon does. So that match will be at 4 o'clock. Oregon High Point will be at 6:30. The winner of those matchups will then play on Friday at 6 p.m. It's the third consecutive year for Oregon hosting. Tickets are available on GoDucks.com. Be in Matthew Knight Arena to support the Ducks for the postseason. Also, Oregon soccer getting a new coach, as announced earlier today. Tracy Joyner coming over from UC Davis to join the Oregon program. We will talk to her tomorrow. It will be aired on the show later in the week. Also, women's basketball for Oregon will be at Matthew Knight Arena on Wednesday. 7 o'clock against Washington State is when you can see the Ducks play at Matthew Knight Arena against Wazoo. Not a conference matchup, just against Washington State. Coming up on Duck Insider throughout the week, we've got a packed week. There's so much going on, as you can tell. We've got Chris Clayton on the show tomorrow. Jody Sykes will join as it's football early signing day coming up on Wednesday. Everything in compliance you'll get from her. And Matt Ulmer, head coach, previewing those matchups in the postseason. See everybody. Go Ducks.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's